What's up, foo? Martinator Woo back again with another Hyperscape video. And in my last video I said I would be ranking all the weapons and hacks, and that's what we're doing today. So let's get it done. Alright, first we're going to be ranking the hacks. Now I have it set up in different tiers. There's D tier, C tier, B tier, and A tier. Now we're going to start with D tier because those are like the worst ones. Alright, first up we have Ball, and now Ball is very popular on console. I really don't understand why, because console players would be like, oh yeah bro, it's like a really good way to get out of situations. Like, no it's not, okay? It's not. Like, you just bounce around through the air and it has like no health. Like, if the enemy has anything other than like an explosive weapon, they're just gonna shred the ball to bits, and you're just gonna be there floating in the air, just not being able to do anything, and then people will snipe you from across the map with the Riot 1, alright? And I'm gonna demonstrate it. Alright, so it like bounces. Each time it hits the floor, it bounces higher. And I do like how you can cancel. Hold on. I don't have any weapons or hacks right now, so I can't really cancel. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. But, like, it's just bad. Come on, it's just bad. When you watch gameplay of it, you can just tell that, you know, it's bad. Okay? Alright, next up we have Wall. It's another defensive hack, like the Ball. Like, this time it creates, like, just a barrier. You can tell the ex-Fortnite players always use this one, but it's just like not good. It's only good for like blocking doorways and like getting yourself high. Like, you jump out the window, like whoop, you build it under you. That's literally like one of the only reasons why it's good. Like, there's nothing else that makes it good. It's just like it can be used smartly, but there's not a lot of situations where it's really useful. So yeah, that's why I put it in D tier. Alright, next up is C tier. In this tier we have Reveal and Mine, and we're gonna start off with Mine because I think it's worse than Reveal. Alright, so the Mine is a hack that you can place on the ground, and anything in its radius it'll track, like that guy right there. And at its max level it does 60 damage. I think it does damage over time, like with each fuse it gets. I think it does more damage, but yeah, that's how it works. And it's very slow to track and just slow moving. And it doesn't do as much damage as I think it should. Like, it does quite a bit of damage, but it doesn't make up for like how slow it is. Alright, next up we have Reveal. It's pretty self-explanatory. You like hide behind something, there's an enemy there. Well, this is not a real situation. See, it marks it on your map and on the screen, even if it like blocks something, like my sword, like ooh, right there. It's useful in some situations where like you're like going through a building, you think you hear something, and then boom, pop it. And it has a pretty short cooldown time. It's useful in some situations, but like when you're in the middle of a firefight, it's not that useful, and you have like one slot that can have some other good hack, like a slam or something. So, you know, that's why I placed it in C tier. Alright, next up we have B tier. And in this tier there's Shockwave and Invulnerability. I just call it defense because who will say invulnerable every single time? So let's start with Shockwave because I think it's the worst one of the two. So Shockwave, you know, it's really self-explanatory. It causes a shockwave. It can either be used to bounce yourself up or bounce the other person up, and if it hits the enemy, it does damage to them. Look, bounce me up. Alright, wait for it to cool down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's gonna knock this guy back. And it does 30 damage at max. Bro, where are you going? Come back here. Alright, next up we have defense. I really don't know that there's a situation where I can show it off, but I don't need to explain much. Once you start it, it makes you temporarily invulnerable, as it says, and you can cancel it out by swapping weapons, doing another hack, or just attacking or aiming. And I think it's really good. That's why it's in B tier. Shockwave and Invulnerability are pretty good. They're not as good as ones over there, you know. In A tier, alright, in A tier we have Slam, Teleport, Invis, and Heal. This is the only one where it's not placed in as like a strategic order, like the ones on this side are weaker than the ones on this side. No, because I can't really decide which ones are better in here. Alright, let's start off with Slam. So Slam, you boost yourself up into the air, and depending on how much you fused it, if it gets to the final fusion, you go higher, like whoop, and you slam back down. Hit the other guy right there. It does. I think it does more damage when it's fully fused. Yeah, hold on. Let me reset this real quick. 2, 1. But like you saw when I slammed, I hit the floor and I paused for a second. That's why some people like to do the thing called slam slide. I think that's what it's called. Where like, and then you. Okay, I don't know how to do it, but like, hold on, let me try again. Like after you slam, you can like slide. Let me try. Yeah, see, I just did it. Like, so, because you just pause for a couple seconds, you can't move. But if you slide, you cancel out of the pause. So it's really useful there. Alright, next up we have teleport. You know, you just teleport, you know, you activate it and then, you teleport a short distance. If it's fully fused, it goes longer. It's like, here, let me, like that. It's pretty useful to get out of situations, like out of windows. And then when you mix it with invis right here. Invis is pretty self-explanatory. You know, you just go invisible, which is very useful in firefights because since everyone moves so fast, and when you don't have a weapon equipped, like when you're invisible, you move faster. So it's really easy to get out of a firefight with invis. But like when you're in the middle of one and you can't invis and it'll be predictable where you're going, you can teleport and then invis like this. So like you go into like a random direction and go invis, so they have no idea where you are. So it's easier to lose them. All right, next up we have heal. I don't know how I can show this. It's kind of like the defense. Well, you place it down, and anything in this area, it heals you and your teammates. It can go 1 story high. Like I'm still getting healed when I'm up here. All right, we're moving on to weapons now. I placed the protocol sniper right here. It's not in any of those 3 main categories because snipers, the protocol, it can be very good if you're good at sniping, but if you're bad at sniping like me, it's basically useless. So like it's basically like whether you're good at sniping or not, it's kind of personal opinion. I can't really put it in one of these because I wouldn't really know because I'm not good at sniping. Alright, now we're on to the 3 main categories. We have A, B, and C, ABCs. So starting off with A tier weapons, we have the Ripper, Riot 1, Harpy, and Skybreaker. Now I'm gonna show off Ripper first. My Ripper is like my favorite gun, but it had this problem where it kind of made you feel like a noob because it shot fast. The fire rate sound was actually faster than what it actually shot, so it made you feel like you're missing a lot of your shots. Like what? See, look how much damage it does.
Come on.
And if you get all critical, it's pretty easy to do this because there's like no recoil. Like look at that. And it has 36 ammo, which is a lot. It does 21 damage. And if you know, in Hyperscape, every enemy has 120, so that's going to take like 6 shots out of 36. It's just a lot. Alright, next up we have Riot 1. It's basically the sniper, but like easy. If you're good with the Riot 1, you can basically just win the game. Like, look. Hold on, let me go there. And then, look at this. Boom, 54 on a headshot. And it's super easy to get headshots because look how small the hit thing is. The crossfire. Look, it's literally the size of their head from far away. You can snipe someone from across the map with this thing. It's like the sniper, but way better. Like even though I'm not good at sniping, this thing I just know Riot 1 is way better. It's just so good. It's almost as good as like the Ripper. It's like so good. It's overpowered as heck. Alright, next up we have the Skybreaker. The Skybreaker is like the other explosive weapons, except it's the best one. First of all, it does a ton of damage when you're far away. It does 64. That's like more than half of their health, and it has a radius, so when you can just third party a fight and just kill both of them. Like look at this. Boom. And if I calculate this right, I can hit all 4 of them. Okay, I didn't do it then, but if I went boom right there, just 3 kills. I could have done it in 2 shots, but I did it in 3 because I was pretty close. And this is also good in close range, even though the longer it is, the more damage you do. Because if you're like inside a building, and like you're like hitting him with a Ripper or like a Riot 1, and then you run out of ammo, you can just switch to this. And if he's low health, you just shoot him inside the building, and it's really easy to shoot because it has that big area. The farther it is, the bigger it is. Like look at that. And you could just hit him and cross the building. It doesn't matter if he's like a story high, like a story above you. You still hit him. And I believe that's what makes the Skybreaker so overpowered. Alright, now we go on to the Harpy. The Harpy is different from these 3 because they're good at close range, long range. They're just good in all situations. But the Harpy, it's basically utterly useless at long range. Like, look at this. Hold on. Look at that. It's so bad. But if you're at close range and you have good tracking, this gun automatically becomes the best gun in the entire game. Like, look at this. Look at that. Look how much it demolished him. It's so good. That's why I think even though it's not good at long range and like good in all situations like these ones, I think it makes up for how good it is at close range. Alright, next we move to B tier. We have the Salvo, the Komodo, and the Mammoth. Now I would have put Mammoth in A tier, but it did get nerfed, like at full fusion, it could one-shot somebody. But now look, when I do an all pellet shot, it only does like 105 or something like that. Hold on. It only does like 98 damage on all pellet. It does somewhere around 100, even though it could one-shot. It could one-shot previously. But it got nerfed because on PC people were just destroying everybody with it, and it was just not fun for anybody. All right, next up we have the rest of the explosive weapons. The Skybreaker was in A tier, but these two are in B tier. First up we have the Komodo. It's basically like a plasma launcher. Like, it doesn't have any recoil like the Skybreaker. And just like them, the farther you are, the more damage it does. Does 34 damage at max with max fusion, and at furthest distance. It's my least favorite out of the other three because personally I think the Salvo, that grenade launcher over there, is just better. Let me show you. Look at this. This is the Salvo. It's a grenade launcher, and I personally think it's just better. Like, it can damage so many people at once. It's absolutely overpowered indoors, and like, I think it got buffed because it got nerfed when season 1 came out, and now like Salvo is back. Like, it's so good. All right, now we move on to C tier, and this one we have the D-Tap, Dragonfly, and the Hexfire. Now the Hexfire, the automatic Gatling gun, I think it's the best out of these three, but it's still not good. Like, console players, they just spam this because they have no aim. Like, look how bad it is. Like, at a distance. Look at that. Oh wait, no, he reset his health. Hold on, let me do that again. Like, look how slow it is. Console players only like this because they have no aim, and there's like a greater chance that they'll hit shots, and it just makes them feel like a pro, even though they're so bad. Like, look at that. Look how long it takes, okay? They just spam you with this, with, like, its infinite magazine size. It's so annoying. Like, when they just spam you with this Hexfire, and if you actually get them to, like, a low health, they just get into the ball and get out of there. But then if you shoot the ball down, they just bring out a Skybreaker or their Hexfire and just mow you down while they're in the air, and it just kills you immediately. And it's super annoying. But, like, the Hexfire's not that good. And, you know, next up is the Dragonfly. Now, I think it's better than the D-Tap, but it's also worse than the Hexfire. I think it's in the same category as a Protocol, but I don't think it's really that good. First of all, I think it should do more damage than it usually does. It only does 31 on critical, on full fusion, and I honestly think it should do more. Like, it should kill them in 3 shots, not 4. And I think it has, like, too much recoil. Yeah, it's just all around not very good. Like, it's just really bad. Like, there's so many things that's so obvious that would make it better, but you know, it's stuck like this. It's being bad. All right, next up we have the worst gun in the actual game, the D-Tap, the targeting pistol. Like, it's basically an aimbot pistol. Like, it goes to them, and my biggest problem with the D-Tap is that the tracking is very, very inconsistent. Like, you could see in my last video that I attacked someone with a D-Tap in Zero Gravity 2. I attacked someone with a D-Tap, and it just wasn't tracking. Like, I was at a good distance, and it just wasn't tracking. Wait, what? It's like glitching right now. Like, and it does so little damage. Like, if the tracking was a little bit more consistent and fleshed out, and it did more damage. Look at this. What is happening? Like, I already don't have bad aim, but, like, no one on PC will ever use this, because look at it. Like, I can already hit stuff without the targeting. If it just did more damage, like, if it did 10 damage, it would just become a decent gun. Like, they think that making it have higher damage will just automatically make it overpowered. No, if you have to, like, 10 damage, it would at least be, like, decent. It could be like at least in like B tier. But it's right now it's stuck as being the worst gun in the game. It's just so bad. Everything about it is horrible. Like the fire rate. If you're gonna make it this low damage, like at least make the fire rate better. It's kind of like a Jacob's weapon from Borderlands. It fires as fast as you can pull the trigger. But just, you know, it's just all around, it was just so bad. Look, I ranted on about it so much that I literally ran out of ammo. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And I said in my last video that I would actually make a tier list. And I keep my promises, okay, most of the time. I know I still haven't played the DLC for Borderlands 2. I'm sorry. But I said I keep my promises most of the time, okay? And I feel like I'm gonna have, you know, Hyperscape, I love the game, but it's not doing too hot right now. Like, a lot of problems with the Xbox. A lot of problems with like the gameplay, you know, bugs and stuff. It had a very slippery start. I have a feeling it'll get better in season 2. That's where it'll really pick up. But for right now, I think it's it's technically still in beta, but I think it's pretty good actually. You know, in season 2, I have a feeling it'll be, because like if you check on Twitch, it almost never breaks 1,000 viewers. Like, it's so sad. Like Fall Guys, that game is completely dead, and it still has a couple thousand viewers. But you know, guys, I love Hyperscape. I'm gonna make more videos on it in the future. I'm gonna get all the memories, and I'm gonna buy the season 2. I'm gonna look through it with you guys, and I'm looking forward to making so many more videos about this game in the future. Alright guys, goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.